Well, last week we were dealing with that smoke, and it continued to the weekend. We might continue to see that, but it is going to start to clear as we head into week after we get one more bout of smoke in. The rain chances have been increasing since yesterday evening, and are going to continue as we head into this week. And we're going to see warmer, muggier conditions start to make their way in as well as we go through the week. Let's start here with those air quality alerts, because one in Minnesota were allowed to expire because the air quality is significantly improved. However, in Northwest Wisconsin going into UP, we're still seeing some of those air quality issues, and we'll expect it because another bout of smoke will be making its way in right here as we get into the afternoon. This is what we can expect. So mostly Northwest Wisconsin and UP seeing the smoke that's moving in from more southern portions of Wisconsin and parts of Lake Michigan. However, as it continues to come out of the south, we'll finally start to see that clearing once we get later into Tuesday, especially by Wednesday. So yes, we have to deal with the smoke just a little bit longer, but this is finally when we can see the end of the tunnel here. So that is the good news when it comes to the smoke. And now we're going to talk about the rain, because the weather patterns are changing a little bit, and one of them is bringing the rain after a bit of that dry period we've been having. Look up here towards the Big Fork area, north of Big Fork. We're seeing a bit of that rain making its way into International Falls now. Just a bit of scattered shower action northern Minnesota as well as around Pine County. So we'll continue to see that as we go through today. And I'm mostly going to be sticking on the Minnesota side, but if you saw from satellite radar, even some was already showing up this morning in the UP. So all of us will be seeing a little bit of scattered showers, maybe the isolated thunderstorm here and there. This will be continuing overnight hours going into the morning hours on Tuesday. And that won't be the end of it, because look at this, Wednesday going into Thursday, we're going to start seeing some more rain make its way in. Again, scattered showers and thunderstorms with this one. And as we go into the weekend, Friday going into Saturday again. So we're just seeing all these rain chances. They keep coming in and in and in as we go through the week, all the way up to the weekend. So it's not going to be a big blockbuster system, but we are going to continue to see those rain chances all through the week towards the weekend. When it comes to those rain totals, well, not too much, especially for most of the week, but we'll see how the second system shakes up, because if we see quite a bit of rain with that second system, then we could overall, by the time we get towards the end of the weekend, we see a good few inches of rain in some spots. And overall, even past that, as we go into next week, we're expected to be above average when it comes to precipitation. So it looks like the wetter patterns are going to be persistent, not just this week, but a little bit further down the line as well. And with all this rain, we're also going to be seeing the humidity rise. Look at this, as we get towards Friday and Thursday, I mean, look at that, it's going to become very humid, and it's going to be on top of the heat. Now, we're not going to be feeling that heat quite yet. Highs today going to be into the 70s for a lot of us, putting us around, not slightly below the seasonal average. But I'm going to pull this forward to Tuesday. We're finally back to seasonal into the upper 70s as we get in northern Minnesota, getting into the 80s in northwest Wisconsin. And if we pull forward to Thursday, and especially on Friday, look at this, we're going to be getting to 80s a lot of this, and especially if you're down here further south here in northwest Wisconsin, might be getting into the low 90s as well. And with all this heat as well as humidity that's coming, we're going to start seeing those impacts. The heat risk on Thursday is going to be moderate for quite a few of us, maybe become major, and then by the time we're into Friday, look at this, a lot of us are going to be seeing major impacts from the heat. So we're going to be reminded, it's still August. You know, we're excited for fall. We're definitely still in the middle of summer, and be ready for that as we head towards the end of the week. And it looks like the heat is going to be sticking around as well as into next week. And you look at our 7-day forecast. You know what, right now, today, it's going to be a little bit on the cooler side, as I mentioned, but we got that rain moving in, a little bit of smoke to still deal with. But as we go through the week, we're going to clear the smoke out. The rain continues, and we're going to see warmer temperatures come in with